Gosh. Hey everyone, welcome back. What's happening with my YouTube? Why is it not live? Well, I pressed live, so I guess we got a stream today. Welcome back everyone, and there's a ton of news. I'm purely sleep deprived and probably almost near my death and near obesity, but I'm still here. So I hope you're all doing fantastic today. And there's definitely a lot to talk about. So let's check that out. So let's take a look at everything that's happening. Okay, so I am in fact live. And there's a lot of content to talk about today. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing fantastic. Be sure to smash that like button. We are going to be checking Twitter. Altcoin X LiveStream. So yeah, definitely tons of news today for XRP. Definitely a lot of news for all these other tokens, which is really, really nice for anyone holding crypto. You probably made massive gains. And so crypto, XRP, ETH, Bitcoin, price pump, coin price prediction. Let me just pump coin prediction, and then we gotta delete this. Just trying to update the titles of the YouTube channel, and that's it. And we're live now. Yeah, so welcome everyone back to another stream. This is day 3 of streaming. To anyone who's listening and anyone who wants to join in, where I do my content, even if super sleepy today, I still decided to stream anyway. So let's check. Let's make a poll first on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube, Twitch. I'm live on X, all of these platforms. So if that's something that is of interest of you, be sure to close in on that and join in. So let's check. YouTube, will crypto go up this week? Yes and no. So we can start this poll. Poll started. Let's check on, has anyone checked on Germany because its price has been dropping? Yeah, it's sold all its Bitcoin. It's waiting for another drop. All right, so we got to check a lot of the cryptos that went up in price. Man, a lot of cryptos went bazingas. So I think about like some coins went up 50, 60, 70%. And that's what makes it excited. Why won't Bitcoin just suck the investor capital out of everything? Bitcoin is just getting started. So yeah, this is like a person that is always talking about Bitcoin, pretty much. Like, it is gonna happen. But the matter is when. Why am I getting Justin Bieber posts? Yeah, Jerome Powell is leaving. So Trump is calling for 300 basis point rate cut, the largest cut in the history. Imagine the pump. And there you have it. Reportedly considers resignation. A lot of people are saying that would be pretty good for crypto because they've been waiting for Jerome Powell to leave for about 2 years now, 1 year. And now he has a lot of pressure to leave. And that is because people want crypto to pump, and Trump's best interest is to let Jerome Powell leave. He doesn't want to cut those. I don't think we're going to see 300. I think it's an saturation. Jerome Powell thinks it's going to crash the market. So that's a quick recap on what exactly is going on. If I sit weirdly, it's because I have some back pain. But the most important factor is Jerome Powell is just considering it. He hasn't really stopped at this point. And the bull run is starting even if we don't get any basis points cut. So they're saying 300 basis points, but to me it doesn't make sense. So why Trump wants to cut the basis points? He says there's no the inflation, there's no inflation. And Jerome Powell is like of a different idea. He wants to be very conservative. Again, a lot of this, you know, basically people working for 40 years, they saw 2008. He saw what happened in 2008. So he wants to like reconsider it. So I can ask ChatGPT, why does Trump want Jerome Powell to resign? And we can see here, he wants him to resign. And I'm guessing because it would be good for altcoins, and he has a good altcoin position. So I'm wondering if Jerome Powell will actually resign. So will Jerome Powell leave or stay? He's just considering it. He's considering it if people don't want him. But right now, just the current government is saying they don't want him, right? He's like a separate entity. So I think that's a pretty big difference that people don't realize, is that leaving and being asked to leave or considering to resign is very much different. So this could be both good and bad for crypto. I personally think it would be a good change, but there's 3 things why Trump is publicly pushing for Powell's resignation. Renovation cost controversy. Also, after this, we're going to be checking out XRP. The Trump administration, especially through OMB Director Russ, accuses Powell mismanaging the Fed's $2.5 billion headquarters renovation. So they're saying $2.5 billion was spent towards stupid stuff. $700 million on over budget on rooftop gardens, VIP dining rooms, and marble finishes. They said they spent $700 million on that. And monetary policy. Now, I think that's the most important factor that people are talking about. I'm not showing my ChatGPT because I have some other personal stuff on it, like what type of food I should eat to lose weight. But Trump is upset that Powell has kept interest rates higher, around 4.5%, which is good anyone that has a lot of cash, because if you have a lot of cash right now, you can just deposit it and get so much money, right? Powell, however, cites inflation and trade risk related as reasons for maintaining a cautious approach. So this is an old guy, right? And he's very conservative on crypto. He's very conservative on, you know, like, oh, recession's over, so let's go all in. It's not like that. And that is very, very important, that what we are seeing right now is Trump's team appears to be using a renovation scandal for build a cause justification to remove a sitting Fed chair. Again, I personally think Powell is taking a safe approach, but cutting rates might actually pump the market in the short term, but it can potentially, if you cut the rates too much, it can generate too much revenue and cause a recession. You can literally make a recession, and that's what we saw in 2008. There was some bad decisions. There were times in history in the past where we saw recession being formed because, you know, we just took a quick step. And 2008 was that. It was a really greedy market. I think Trump is thinking like we can literally stop having this, you know, fear of 2020. I think it's a real problem that 5 years ago, there's still a ton of inflation from 2021, and the markets have not fully recovered. They're pumping now, but they're not even close. But there is other good news that XRP has surpassed the 170 billion market cap. Now, the thing is with Jerome Powell is we're seeing the same prices of the market cap for crypto since 2017. And that's why they want the CEO to resign. Because if they do someone else and they're going to do the interest rates, everybody's going to be happy with the stock markets rising up, right? So it's a win-win for everyone. So XRP surpasses a 170 billion market cap. XRP is next up for 500 billion. I think it actually can happen. I think it's more realistic that we get a 200 billion. I think once Ethereum goes up, XRP might follow to 300 billion. We're still a far, far away. But XRP is at 170 billion now. That is only 50% of Ethereum's value. So just 50%. It's not more than that. And 50% of Ethereum value, which means with more partnerships this year and potential IPO next year, it might explode. So that's a very important factor people don't realize, is that how much this could explode. And here we have Cointelegraph growing. Again, XRP growing. Jerome Powell leaving. And a lot of Bitcoin whales being liquidated. So 3 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts to be liquidated at 130,000. And this is why Bitcoin might be hitting 130,000 for a very simple reason. Is because people are getting basically paid if it hits 130,000, especially big whales. So anyone, it's bound to happen. Here's why. If we reach 130,000, this means all people who go long will gain this free money. It's free money. It will happen. Okay, so anyone, the big institutions will try to push it through, open shorts, and gain extra money. It's kind of like going to the candy store and trying to get something on top. People need to realize that right now, 3 billion of Bitcoin, 3 billion of Bitcoin, BTC, about to be given to any whales, to crypto whales, in when it reaches 130,000 per Bitcoin. So that's the very good news. And crypto. So yeah, we are seeing that right now, that all these whales coming in. So you see this huge supply wall. This basically means a lot of people have their positions open. So when Bitcoin reaches like 120,000, a lot of these shorts will be liquidated. So here's the price. So I think when we reach 130,000 here, this is where the positions start to close out, right? So there's going to be like all these longs and shorts being given out to these traders, if I understand correctly. It's bad trading against the trend. That little attempt to scalp short volatile pump always ends up terribly. Yeah, it's definitely very bad to trade that. There's basically no profit in that. Patience and confirmation may not give you so much fast money, but I have seen over the years it's best way to trade. Greed is the killer. And that's what people are waiting for. So anyone shorting and waiting for quick cash might get liquidated. They will literally get destroyed. Like anyone holding crypto right now. So definitely could indicate that right now the whales are going to try to pump up the price, and maybe then even it's going to drop back to 120,000, 130,000. I definitely think the whales are pushing for a bigger price. So if you guys realize that, smash that like button as well. And I have affiliate codes as well. So that is something you guys should realize, that this is kind of predicted. I was talking that this will happen for a very long time, and now it's finally happened. And now we are here. Exactly as I said. I said that the Bitcoin big institutions are buying Bitcoin. And this is why you shouldn't short in crypto, right? Unless you're 100% certain we're seeing the same bear market as 2022. Because your $1,000 position, in my opinion, your $1,000 position is very likely to dip straight ahead. It's very hard to say when the price will go down. When the markets go up, it's much easier to long the market, right? But the shorts, it's maybe easy money until it's not. You can actually see Bitcoin spikes of drops. It's like real drops is very small. So this is one big drop from 2021. And I guess there were traders fighting here. This is another big drop here. So again, I don't see it, because how can you predict when the market goes down? Like, it's a hindsight fallacy, right? So could you have predicted that Bitcoin will drop for $1,000 before rebounding? And that's exactly what traders did. They lost all their money in crypto. So yeah, guys, if you trade, I know a lot of people try to do day trading, but it's super, super stressful. So it's another big problem that people realize. But we got to check at top meme coins right now. I think one is Meme Core, Story, Stellar. These are the biggest gainers. So look at that. Memecore.com. What's that? And why has it grown up so much? Are meme coins coming back? So we're going to be checking 2 of these. And again, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not paid by them. But this was listed on Binance Futures. So you can buy it on Binance and Bybit Futures. So, AI coins and meme coins are back, I guess. Kind of. Not really, but still way better than before. We saw 2024 was absolutely good for all meme coin holders. Meme Core is the first layer 1 blockchain specially built for Meme 2.0. I'm kind of afraid to click on that. I'd rather check their Twitter. Just because I'm a very safe type of person. All right. So this went up 70%. This went up literally from 2025 March 5 cents to 75 cents. Already had 23 million trading volume, went up to 200 M. With strong social momentum's whale accumulation and growing listings, the meme coin is turning heads fast. Another wild chapter in the meme coin narrative. Are you watching M? Meme Core is meme president layer 1 purpose built for Meme 2.0. Again, layer 1 is so competitive, right? But with all these big exchanges, they definitely have potential. They're number 3 on market cap right now. And people are dying for a meme coin that's not Pepe or SHIB. Because it is different at this point. It is becoming stronger, and that's exactly what people want. They want the next big pump with partnerships. Now, one thing I like about this is if we want to launch a successful meme coin, it can't just be memes anymore. It actually has to be something of value. And that's what M is. It is something of value. It is something that people will watch. The question is, will people care enough to buy this? Because I know SHIB was doing layer 2 and it wasn't looking like that good. They weren't trading at all. But with so many exchanges joining on listings, I think this is one of the reasons why this token pumped so much. Again, I think the idea is good, like adding utility to the token. But this needs to be, like, getting it listed on major exchanges is good news, definitely. But if you want to make money as a big meme coin nowadays, I feel it's mandatory you add something than just layer chains, because most people still don't use it, you know. Most people still don't use those layer chains. They still want to be built on Ethereum. So basically being on your own chain. This one is on BNB chain, but they want to build a layer 1. There's a lot of people. I actually recognize someone here, this guy. So if they do that, they obviously have a community. Okay, so they're trying to make a community type based, right? So like total value locked. That looks actually like pretty good animation and good marketing as well. Like they probably have someone hired for them. Lift, memes await. Again, when is the true development going to come in? Is it they're going to have other stuff? Because SHIB is trying to do that. And look at its market cap, 2 million. I think SHIB did it too wrong on layer 2. Mutual interaction with Bitcoin for Kaido earn. We got your back. Again, the community is strong on this one, and that's what keeps them back. And they do have one advantage, novelty. They've been listed on big exchanges. I don't know if it's going to go to $10, but if they build more and more and more and keep coming back, it definitely could happen. Like, they're making a lot of partnerships. So look at this. So much nice marketing. So that's one point done. Meme coin is now live on Mason's Free Express Bridge. You can now bridge native SM directly from your meme chain to BNB Smart Chain. Okay, so, I see. So it's on its own chain. I guess other meme coins will cut on this chain. But again, this is one of the most competitive markets, layer chains that require a ton of money. So I'm going to keep my eyes on this, but I need someone in the comments to explain me, like, how is this layer 1 chain better than any other competitor? And again, I didn't do my research enough. But there is a lot of stuff that they're doing, you know, events, a playground created meme coins. And I guess they want to do like a game, a whole world, a whole metaverse. And this will take a long time before this actually happens. But it seems like they've been like building it. They didn't like give up immediately as it dropped. They didn't sell everything and just dip. Because I know some meme coins actually did that. So look at that. Keep your eye focused where he's hiding. They're doing still events. And that is, I got to give them props for that, because they did that even as the price wasn't super big. So they kept building like around June, July. This is June, right? And the price was 9 cents. Okay, so that was 10 million. But look at that. Before that, they kept building and posting about it. So it's actually a fresh off the market, I see now. It just arrived. That's why it's listed on these big exchanges. So look at that. I want to first show massive respect for Kaido project, the value of attention spam. Guys, let me know what you think about this one. Oh, okay. So there's actually a lot of crypto holders coming in. Like, they were at the Trump dinner and Bitcoin conference. Interesting. So they do have a lot of marketing. Trump Army just arrived in LA for a Bitcoin conference. Co-founder of memecore.org. And here, I guess the developer is semi-doxed as well. So he is passionate about the project. That's what I like to see. Again, guys, do you think they're going to make like other meme coins on the live servers, or how do you think it works? From high speed layer 1 blockchain meme coin to high speed extractional value Faraday for the futures. Blah, blah, blah. So future is bright. People are posting memes. And they're excited to see more. But I feel like the retail investors might not buy this because they don't know how to actually get on this one. So yeah, I am ready to meme, I guess. And I want to see what they do with this, because there's potential. But again, how is this going to be any different from other layer 1s, except it's for meme coins? So next up, we have Story IP. This one was growing as well. This one is based on AI. AI runs on IP. Story makes it IP programmable. IP is the world's largest asset class and one the world AI can't exist without. Let's check the prices. Did a whale just... I guess a whale sold everything. Like, he sold his entire bags at $5. And then it immediately rebounded after. Wow, look at this price bump. Holy smokes. So this was actually here for a few months at $5. And a whale today sold their bags as soon as it pumped from $3 to $5. Or maybe he was part of someone buying it here and then dumping it. And you can actually see trying to rebound, but at a very crazy level. Pick a wallet, fund account, and explore apps. Intangible assets, 61 trillion IP market value. Media, healthcare, energy. So I'm guessing they're using IP, like this token, Story is the world's first IP that transforms intelligence into programmable IP assets. Now, I like AI. Create IP for global market AI training and remixing. On-ramp real world for DeFi use cases. Trade, tokenize, fractionalize, and monetize IP chains. On the future of age of AI. IP is the store of value, the era of AI. Just as Bitcoin emerged in the way of financial crisis, Story addresses AI's Napster moments head on. It feels like a lot of AI coins are actually pumping right now. Especially AI coins. Look at that. I can't recognize any of IPs across here, but it seems like some are joining in. IPs are basically, I guess, big companies. And you can profit off those big companies. That would be huge. Can you, like, investing a small part? Did I completely miss that? You can, like, stake here. So the website looks nice, but I want to wonder what made its price spike so much. So chapter 2 starts today. API's next leap isn't about bigger models. It's about IP. Stories building the 70 trillion IP economy. So I'm guessing they want to give the people the chance to buy and interact with these big companies, like buying a fraction of Apple. Is that what I understand correctly? Or am I completely off about it? Oh, this is what really pumped him. 10 million fund with OKX Ventures to back the primitive and marketplace to make IP programmable. So they're going to build these apps now. You can basically borrow these apps, if I understand. And $10 million is a lot of money. And how else can you tell you're serious if you basically give $10 million back to the holders? In real cash, by the way. So you're going to give $10 million in real cash. Since launching mainnet, we've been heading down Story to make IP programmable, enforceable, and monetizable in internet speed. Now, this is what I like to see, right? When most of the meme coins are just memes and don't do anything right, there's actually projects that try to go way and beyond and do something else. This might be invested by institutions. Like, I don't think it's going to be invested by retail investors that much, because they won't understand it. They want to invest in meme coins. So why would they buy this at all? It doesn't make sense for them, right? They're going to think, why should I get this? Why should I get AI coin if I can buy in a video or something like that? Or if I can buy meme coins? And it's a scary thought. But for me, it definitely makes sense. So it says data layer for physical AI, unscrollable, high value, real world training data for AI development. Half of these words I cannot understand, but and that's the issue. I think their marketing team should like look into how to explain to more less fortunate smart people like me, right? And someone like buying Ethereum will probably want to invest in this project because it will see like a 50% growth. I think people who buy this are very into crypto. They're very invested. Like, they know a lot of AI coins. And that's what makes it pump. Like, they know it's going to pump. So how entertainment gets made. 118 projects. Knows he made a Billathon submission stand out. Less is more. And then I guess he's going to post like these apps on the IP story. So they're trying to make it a big thing. Cool. Definitely cool. Let's focus on the main bread and butter, that is XRP. XRP, the main bread and butter for the channel. So there's been a ton of stuff lately that made XRP basically pump. And I definitely think it could reach $3. It's not that far off. And that is where crypto goes up. So let's take a look. Onyx coin. Wow. XRP has been exploding. Look at that. XRP stop, new crypto plan. What the heck is going on? Let's take a look at that.
Why would I show her face? Well, next week is Crypto Week, and for Maxine and her friends, it's Crypto Hater Week. That's right.
Anti-crypto corruption week. I guess like the government is now taking the stance of hating crypto instead of being very neutral about it. And I think that's what Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of XRP, is trying to change. So he's trying to basically tell people that crypto is something that you can hold, and it's not just for dealers or bad people. It's also something that you can use every single day. So people don't realize how much of value it potentially has, because the US government right now is trying to learn what exactly crypto is. They're watching it from the sidelines, and they're seeing like people doing malicious things on it. They're seeing Trump, making its own token. They're trying to see if it has potential, because if all these institutions are buying and they know that, then they're looking how can they make this a safe space for the retail investor, for someone putting $300,000 into Bitcoin. Can it even be safe? It's safe for stocks, but that's what's taking so long for crypto to pump.
They're expected in 2025 after the new BTC high, yeah. With the possibility of a huge regulatory rug pull removed, hot, institutional investors have a green light to invest in the space.
That would be huge. If you can get like retail investors and everyone else to invest, that's what XRP is trying to convince the US government. We're the good guys and we want to work with you.
In earnest. When it comes to mergers and acquisitions in the space, the Architect Partners report highlights that 78 mergers and acquisitions in quarter two was by far a record. This is what I've been talking about. Mergers and acquisitions are a really good indicator for things starting to brew, things starting to get juicy, because think about it. These players that are doing mergers and acquisitions, they know greener things are ahead.
So again, Coinbase acquiring derivatives giant Deribit. So this means basically that the big conglomerates who have unlimited money glitch basically buy different smaller companies and try to build a conglomerate. It's exactly what Google was doing. It's exactly what Apple is doing. It's buying these smaller companies for pennies that they can make the money back in like 3 days or 2 days. And they put some money inside, and they're buying very big because they want to be the first ones to actually hold every single big platform when the people come. So they bought Deribit, which is a crypto options and future exchange for Bitcoin, and it's going to merge. And again, there's a lot of traders on there, and I'm guessing a lot of traders who are going to be in crypto, going to be big in crypto, and who are big in Forex might be coming to crypto.
That's why they're
So it kind of makes sense for them.
doing the mergers and acquisitions. GMX hacker goes white hat, returns 40 million and sends the rest to Tornado Cash.
Yeah, there's still a lot of good people out there.
Look, I just got to throw this out there because you know what? A lot of these exchanges, a lot of these dexes and whatever the hell you want to call them, they're getting hacked. But this player returned 5 million. Well,
So yeah, most of the hacks we saw was actually from North Korea, I'm pretty sure, from the Lazarus group. So of course they're not going to return the money if they can keep all of it in a safe like haven. But this guy loves to keep 5 million. What he's going to do with 40 million? If you have 5 million, do you really need 40 million?
return the money back to get 5 million. Some say crime doesn't pay, but blockchain data suggests that an attacker who exploited a flaw in GMX's code base earlier this week is walking away with 5 million. Okay, funds will be returned later, the individual said in an on-chain message on Friday. Hey, that's today. That's breaking news. That's right, you hit the subscribe button.
So that's pretty crazy. Ripple's bold move for US bank license sparks XRP
Surge
surge
towards
toward $10. It's not that far off. It needs to 3x in price. It's gonna hit $5 at some point, in my opinion.
What sparked the surge when recent crypto prices? Rags, all right? So no, it has nothing to do with the bank, but some people out there, they're shitty journalists. They like to tie everything to Ripple news. No.
I think what the thing happening with XRP is just more people buy it. And when Ripple gets stock, it will be like indirect pump.
Everything in the market is green. So is everything green because Ripple wanted to file for a bank? No, it's because of regulatory optimism. But now into the main story. Maxine Waters. Oh, fuck, man. All right, let's just get into it. Because remember, what's my job? Bring in news, good, bad, happy, or sad. And this isn't like bad and sad. This is like depressing. Why? Because crypto was not a partisan topic 3 years ago. But now,
I mean, it was a very small topic to be talking about, but crypto has now become so big that basically governments have to talk about it. You know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, crypto was so small and people didn't care about it. And that's what makes it very scary for the US government, because what if it's used for bad stuff? And what if people use it against them?
SBF. It was cool when they were getting the funds from him, but now that my boy's in jail, it ain't gonna happen anymore.
Well, yeah, FTX went down. That's why they're so negative about it, because 2022 was disaster for crypto markets. We saw the crypto markets implode because of FTX.
Breaking news in regards to those ETFs tomorrow. XRP specifically, look, we're watching the charts all day long. Volume 15.5 billion.
I think XRP is going to be like, not unlike anything else we've seen. Shiba Inu had that much volume and it couldn't hold the momentum. It couldn't hold the utilities. When the utilities were there, nobody cared.
Yo, we're going to have an anti-shark week. Like, come on, I'm so tired of this fighting. Learn to work together to protect the American.
So there's people fighting now and saying crypto is a total scam. It's never going to work.
Is it going to be clean? I don't know. Is it going to happen fast? I don't know about that as well. Clarity Act. Oh, gosh. And that's the big takeaway, right? If stablecoin regs are easy, regs for the rest of crypto are definitely not going to be easy. Especially when you have anti-shark week, Maxine Waters coming out saying, yo, we're going to fight you on this. I understand. I get it. Okay. I really do. I'm not picking.
I guess in crypto, there's always going to be like one person from the government who's going to be like, oh, I don't want crypto to pump. It should be regulated completely. You're always going to see that in every single government. There's always going to be opposition. It also kind of pays to be in opposition, right? If everybody agrees, maybe there's always going to, like, the community is always going to be divided 50-50, 70-30. And that's the big difference. So also in the news, XRP is doing great, but let's check at GMX exploiter returning funds from 40 million GMX. So this was actually a hacker that returned everything. I'm pretty sure he's doxxed. So he decided to return everything he completely wanted. He could have kept it, but then he would get in trouble. And there's a big heist that everybody missed, because if it's crypto, people miss out on it. So this is the news. The attacker behind the 40 million GMX...
Hacker returns stolen funds from...
I don't want voice audio. Accepting a 5 million white hat bounty offered by GMX team. Look at the price charts after this happened. Absolutely destroyed. And I think the team did perfectly and were entirely dependent on what the hacker does. Kept 5 million to himself. Had 4 million, dropped to 11, right? Flagged that the attacker returned about 5.5 million in Frax tokens to the GMX team. So what are Frax tokens? Oh, I guess they're like legacy Frax dollars. I guess they're like stable coins. So potentially, almost an hour later, the hacker stated returning a crypto from an attack. At the time of writing, the address had returned about 9 million Ether to the Ethereum address specified by the GMX team in an on-chain message. Okay, funds will be returned later. The exploiter wrote an on-chain message accepting the funds. The bounty. So again, he's getting $5 million today. He's getting $5 million, no strings attached. This $5 million is his forever. And he can spend it any way he wants. Can you imagine waking up and saying, okay, I just got $5 million today? Like, would you really put a neck on your back for 40 million? Some people do that. Some exploiters do that. But the exploit on Wednesday targeted a liquidity pool on GMX V1, the first iteration of the perpetual trading platform deployed on the Arbitrum. The attacker drained various crypto assets from the platform after the exploit designed the flaw to manipulate the value of GLP tokens. They offered him 5 million. That's actually pretty smart. That's like, if you offer him 1 million and there's 40 million on the price, that's, kind of a slap in the face. Because 1 million nowadays is like 2 apartments and all your money's gone. But 5 million is enough for the rest of your life. You've executed the exploit. Your abilities in doing so are evident to anyone looking into exploit transactions. The white hat bug bounty of 5 million continues to be available. That's pretty chat of them to like say, okay, you can get it back. This will allow the hacker to remove the risk associated with spending stolen funds. The team even offered to provide proof of the source of funds should the hacker require it. So it would be clean. That's crazy. So they would literally let him buy the apartment or something like that without no strings attached. He can do anything with this money. On-chain message, the GMX team also told the guy that they would pursue legal action in 48 hours if the funds were not returned. In the message, the team said the hacker could take 10% of the stolen funds as a white hat bounty as long as 9% of crypto was returned to the address specified. So he returned about 9 million in Ether. And we want to offer you a 10% white hat bounty for a return of the exploited funds. I mean, more people should do that. More of these exchanges. But again, we haven't seen a lot of hacks recently. And they decided to give this guy back. And having 5 million and having these exploits is not as easy as you think. Almost an hour later, the hacker started returning all these cryptos and returned everything. So good news all in all. And GMX actually recovered to $13. So it's not that disaster as you would have thought. Literally probably created traction. I haven't heard about this token GMX for some time. So probably good marketing. Maybe not $5 million of marketing, but it's a decentralized exchange for trading perpetuals with up to 100x leverage. So it's one of the biggest crypto like perpetual dexes where a lot of traders use it. And they probably make a ton of money. So they don't care about the 5 million. But now they get back most of their money. And 5 million, I think they can make it back in like probably few months, maybe 2 months. I'm just guessing, probably 1 month if a crypto bull run happens. So it's a win-win for both, right? This guy can spend with proof of funds. They literally offered him no strings attached. They offered him to keep all the money and that they're going to help him if he needs to buy an apartment. So he's now having $5 million and he can go private. But if I had $5 million, I would definitely buy like a new air fryer, like the expensive one. The one it's very hard to get, the $600 one. But for him, I think it might be just, for the fun of it. Once you have $5 million, he might still do stuff that he enjoys, like coding. Anyway, that's the news. Pretty good win-win for both sides, I would say. And we usually don't see that at all. So let's take a look at Trump hits all-time high. Next stop, 1M. Okay, let's check this one. I have news for you. XRP, XLM, ADA, Hive, Sui, Solana, and more. Okay, I guess we can watch both here. We have enough time. There's been a lot of news on crypto lately.
All right, what's up, everybody? Look, it's been a long day of travel, but I wanted to make this video for you as soon as I landed because what we're seeing here in the crypto market right now is absolutely fantastic for altcoin investors. And so I want to talk about...
Altcoin investors have been absolutely destroyed. Everybody, when you talk with your neighbor, that they ever mention Bitcoin? No, absolutely never. They only mention altcoins.
Not only what we're seeing in the market as a bit of a follow-up from this morning's video on Bitcoin, but why, if you're an altcoin investor specifically, this is a great moment for you, and there could be some massive implications.
So yeah, the ETFs for altcoins is the big thing that everybody is waiting for. Literally, people want to see ETFs for such a long time for XRP, Solana, all these meme coins.
From what we're saying right now. So I'm sure many of you know, but if you don't, the altcoin market is looking beautiful today. We got things like IP, M,
and Pengu. And I guess like a small mini pump for meme coins could be back, a very small pump. I don't think it's going to be 2024 levels, but definitely something that could keep people in the loop, that could say, hey, meme coins are back in a sense.
Like, okay, well, Bitcoin's pumping. Bitcoin's at all-time highs. It's great having a Bitcoin position, but why is Bitcoin leaving the market behind? Is something shifting in the world of Web3 right now where Bitcoin is going to perform well and Bitcoin has value. But as a result of institutional control and demand in the world of crypto,
I think like institutions buy Bitcoin because it's much cheaper to buy them. So why would they buy well, it's much less risk actually. Why would they buy Ethereum if it's much more risk for much less reward? So every single exchange just agrees to sell more Bitcoin, or every single big institution.
and a lacking of retail interest, is Bitcoin going to just become the thing that pumps and altcoins are going to?
Yeah, so big corporations, they're going to buy Bitcoin because it's through the ETFs. It's much safer for them.
I am saying is that the fact that alts are pumping and the fact that we're seeing something like XLM right now, which is a rather boring crypto, up over 23% off the back of some good news that we saw over the last couple of days, it tells me that the altcoin
It tells me that like people are returning to crypto because Bitcoin is pumping. All these cryptos might pump as well. Like people will look for the next big Bitcoin.
just selling all of your altcoins and shifting back into Bitcoin. I do believe that what we're seeing right now should in many ways mitigate those concerns, those worries, and those fears, because it shows and proves in many ways that the altcoin market is not dead as many people thought it was, and it is still alive.
I mean, it's still very much below all-time highs. This small pump is going to test if altcoins will return in a way. So will Cardano return? Again, will Doge return? It's still half its all-time high. 27% is a great start, however. It is a great start, and a lot of people have been waiting for that.
Rotating some of my profits that I took from Bitcoin, like I explained to you this morning, and I'm going to rotate it into my alts. I'm going to put some of my cash into my altcoins, like my XRPs, like my ETHs, because they are growing, even though I don't particularly love them right now, right?
I mean, there are boring altcoins that you can hold and make money from them. Like, there is boring altcoins that can make you tons of money very easily. just by holding like a very small amount, maybe $1,000. The issue is most don't understand which will pump and which will dump, because some of these are very hard to understand. Some of these altcoins use like different AI. They use all sorts of magic technology that I probably don't understand, and most people don't as well.
If you want to start trading some alts today, you can go check out.
So that's the scariest part of why these institutions don't buy, because it's not guaranteed that these altcoins will go up. But when the government accepts it and the institutions see that it will get accepted, for them it's just a no-brainer, right? So with all these ETFs being accepted, with all this institution, it's just a no-brainer for them to buy. So let's take a look at this video as well.
Bitcoin haters out there.
Mad at currency.
Look, I think we'll get there on an international basis long term, but we don't have
relatively
this one. When shift happens podcast.
problematic, but maybe you have your job is threatened. I think it's been the best performing asset in the history of the world. And I think over the next 10 years now, with the new 50T fund we have coming out, our view is that Bitcoin goes 10x from here. In 10 years, we'll hit 1 million.
I think it will definitely hit 1 million, because even if you look at the, real estate market, 10 million, like the real estate market probably doubled in the last 5 years. I definitely think so in the world, because if you look at the prices in the US right now, you can't even afford a closet with $100,000. And that's why crypto might really explode in the very near future.
Matt Hogan, CIO from Bitwise, says a similar thing. $1 million Bitcoin.
It's definitely bound to happen. Like, all these big institutions will put their money from the small investments or from stock market into, like, they're going to try to diversify. They're going to try to multiply their income. And we're going to be seeing these big institutions coming in and swooping up Bitcoin until it hits 1 million. Because if they can guarantee to 10x their money in 10 years, the stock market cannot do that anymore. But the Bitcoin market can, and that's what makes them so excited about it.
And it's not even 2 years old. Bitcoin is outcompeting VOO in the S&P 500.
Exactly what I'm saying. The stock market is so high, there's a very small chance that the S&P 500, if you put 10 million, it will double. That's why companies buy Bitcoin for 10 million now.
Have a true money, a real money, real wealth.
I mean, S&P can be safer, but I think at this point, if the government wants to buy Bitcoin, it definitely makes total sense that they will go all in.
And there's a singularity, and all of a sudden there's actually engineering, physics, and mathematical principles that are starting to spread in a viral fashion through the economy. And it was like a nothing.
I think like with S&P 500 also, who's going to build a community around that? Maybe like bank officers, but who's going to build a community around Bitcoin? Exactly. Like Bitcoin and Ethereum have the advantage of having one of the biggest communities in the world compared, there's obviously bigger communities, but in terms of finance, you don't have, maybe you have NVIDIA, you have GameStop, and that's what made this spike rally, but you have so many people back up Bitcoin and big institutions and people talking about it that you cannot do that with stock market because it's literally just a very small community.
So Bitcoin will be at 7.
Maybe like Tesla community or something. Tesla on Reddit, they all own Tesla cars. But only so many people can own a full Tesla, right? Like a $20,000, $30,000 Tesla, but anyone can own $10, $100 of Bitcoin and join a forum.
Early days in the sense of just numbers, because I think it's it's not a matter of consumer adoption. It's not a matter of how many people download the iPhone, how many people download a Bitcoin app. For me, it's about the size of the cash balances more than the number of people. And so you
got big institutions literally coming to buy all the Bitcoin.
can look at the size of the cash balances that are in dollars. There are, or dollars or dollar-based currencies, which are all the other fiat currencies in the world. You've got around $100 trillion in fiat currencies. You have another $100 trillion in bonds.
Again, cash is getting deflationary right now, which means it's losing value. So what do people want to do? They want to get rid of that cash. And that's what they are making right now. They're getting rid of the cash and they're making different money. And they want to put it somewhere else. Somewhere where they can actually make more of it. Because if you hold cash in a bank, especially if you're a big company, oh my, it's going to lose a ton of value.
Tremendous risk reward profile. Then size that investment in your portfolio accordingly.
Again, it's a no-brainer for them because if they believe the government is going to list it and buy Bitcoin, the big bump is just starting. So thank you so much, guys. Smash that like button if you haven't already. It means a lot to me as well. I'll check if there's any more videos on here that we can watch about XRP or prices. Kind of sleep deprived today. Only slept like 2-3 hours. So I really appreciate whoever is coming into my stream today. Look, everybody's talking about XRP, altcoins, the Bitcoin a bit. There's really, Fed resigning, Ethereum triggering alt season. I love making videos about Ethereum. Ethereum alt season. Okay, who's driving the rally? So, what's exactly driving the rally behind the newest pump?
Mr. Evan Alda, how are you? Subscribe button. This the gold prices.
Bitcoin is up 60% in 3 months, while like the USD is broken. The USD is falling at its worst start to a year since 1973. Again, that's what I said in the last video and last sentence. The US dollar is actually worthless, exactly as I predicted. Gold prices are rising towards 300 for the odds like inflation is back. Again, people want to get rid of their cash. That's why they're buying real estate, even shitty apartments for $500,000.
This is an issue that is really going to put a lot on the plate of risk assets.
Because they don't want to hold crypto. Look at this inflow. They want to hold Bitcoin. The big institutions, it used to be like cash is king, but now the market's changed and we have seen crypto coming back at all-time highs with these big companies.
Stablecoin. And then, of course, you've got BlackRock just buying more ETH than Bitcoin. All of this getting interesting, Evan.
BlackRock buying ETH, like they probably have 20, 30, 40 employees talking if they should buy that much.
All of this timing is perfect for Ethereum. So tell me about Ethereum on the chart.
Well, I think it's ETH season, and let's pull up the chart right here. And when we look at that, let's get up to Ethereum right here. So a little bit of consolidation where we're hitting right now. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem breaking above 3,000. I think you're going to do some of this continuation like you saw over here. Some of that we had that happen here. We had a giant kind of jump up.
I just think people buy Ethereum because it's very much undervalued compared to Bitcoin. So people need to realize that you can buy, like, the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is one of its lowest in a long time, 0.025, used to be 0.08. So you only had to pay, like, you could divide one Bitcoin for 0.08 of each Ethereum. Now you can get one Ethereum, one Bitcoin you can trade in for 0.025, right? So that's the issue right now. If you're holding Ethereum, it's not good. But it's so undervalued that these companies are going ahead and buying all of the Ethereum, because compared to Bitcoin, it makes more sense to buy Ethereum right now for future gains.
Or even, I would say, probably than buying Ethereum directly.
Correct, that's right. You're letting an entity then try to help you acquire more Ethereum. And again, as these Ethereum treasury strategies get to become large parts of the Ethereum network, they're actually helping the ecosystem. Want to own a large stake in Ethereum. So the Ethereum treasury strategies have what I call a Wall Street put, because they're basically moving in front of what Wall Street probably ends up doing.
So that's Tom Lee, right? So this could be big for Ethereum coming back with these Ethereum treasury stocks and Ethereum ETFs. Basically, they will stake their ETH, and now they're saying that it will go slightly more up. Solana surpasses Ethereum and Tron in quarter 2025. Solana led in network revenue. Again, meme coin rallies are mostly on Solana, so that has actually helped Solana a lot.
So, yeah, I mean, we should keep going at least a little bit more. Let's take a look at Solana right here. So, yeah, 160. I mean, the next big place is going to be 188.
Again, this is
sometime maybe
good
even
news for anyone holding Ethereum. But Solana might be the big thing. Avalanche, I'm afraid the community is too small right now, and most people are either looking at Ethereum or Solana. If you're like younger, I think the younger generation is buying Solana because they're going to buy meme coins and they're trading these meme coins, and that's a very big market as well of itself.
Think about it. Of those three, let's take a $10,000 portfolio and divvy that out. What would you do?
Right now, I think you want to go probably 70% ETH and then 15 on Solana AVAX. I think
AVAX.
That's actually pretty bullish because he's saying, that Solana, he's very bullish on ETH. Like this guy. Again, Solana, not so bad, but not perfect scenario either because it already had its run in 2025. It can go a bit higher, but nowhere near, because up on the next on the list, on the party list, it's Ethereum that is going to see those potential gains by being listed as an ETF.
I think so. By mid-August, the high point I could think 250, 260. I would guess you'd see a little retracement, something
to be painting out. Let's say, Sol BTC starting to trend up right here. Do you think this holds right now?
So CryptoBand said it's going to drop, and I totally believe them about Solana. The issue is for Solana, you need a lot of retail investors, and right now it's institutions buying. So I'm hoping for a better future for it. But again, what do you guys think? Do you think Solana will drop? Do you think ETH will drop? It definitely seems like that after they stop buying Bitcoin, they might most more on ETH ETFs because that's the next money to be made, next like milking the cow, so to say. If you guys want more content like this, be sure to smash that like button. I stream every single day and talk my opinion and make it into clips 15 times a day, 8 times a day. So if that's something that's of interest to you, smash that like and keep updated. And I'm just going to stop my stream. Thank you everyone for coming in. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. So currently we are live with 3 viewers, and in 3 months we might have up to 30 viewers. And I really appreciate anyone joining on my Kick, on my Twitter, checking the links down below, because that's my it's my job to tell you about the news and what's happening in the space. So I will keep practicing and